What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our round 3 DFS Showdown targets for the 2021 Valspar Championship. A little bit different tonight. We're not going live, pre-recorded for you. Hopefully you enjoy it. Craig, let's jump into that round 2, going into round 3 leaderboard. It's kind of a two-man race.
Yeah, it is a two-man race. I think it's going to be really interesting tomorrow to see if it's just sort of those two continuing to push each other, or moving day, the pack catches up to them. I mean, moving day is the most overused cliche. Every day is moving day, but there's a ton of people in the pack. So I do think there's going to be some chasers.
Yeah, I mean, the pack from 8 to 6, 8 to 5, if you want to include that, is huge. We did see the snake pit bite a little bit today, so those 12 unders from Burns and Bradley can definitely move back. I think we've seen, from Burns this year, from Bradley from his career, those guys definitely can go really hot, but they can quickly go cold as well.
Yeah, personally, totally aside from DFS, I have zero DFS exposure to Sam Burns, but after what happened, at the Genesis, I'd love to see him get a win here.
It would kind of feel like a monkey off his back
for sure. I mean, he's so talented to finally break through. I would just I've played him so much that it would suck that it's on a week I'm not playing him, but those are the breaks.
It's been a Bradley and Burns spring for us, and I can feel like we just were a little bit pumping the brakes this one.
It's timing. It's all timing.
It is all timing, and golf is a crazy game.
Your boy Lucas Glover looking good.
Lucas Glover, another bogey-free round, looked really good at 8 under. Sung J M, I really like to see up there.
Mm-hmm.
Tringali, another one of my boys, unofficially, I like to see up there. Anyone else that's jumping out from you from kind of the chasers there?
I mean, so I feel like Homa is playing shockingly well. His putter is liquid hot. And then Sanjay also stands out a little bit to me. Neiman is so volatile. Like he could easily go out there and go low, but you never know. And then one of the guys at 5 who is not listed there is Abe Answer, who you were talking about coming in. I think this is a good course setup for him. So if he can do something special tomorrow, he'll put himself into contention.
We also know how hot Charlie Hoffman has been. We can't glance over him. He's been one of the hottest golfers the past month. There's another guy on the leaderboard I'm going to talk about in a second here. A little teaser. Okay, let's look at kind of what happened. We got 0.13 in round 1, minus 1.1. Golf picks, or Grandstand Golf picks didn't do great. Mine were all around even. Patrick Reed missed a cut, didn't like that. I think your Kisner one kind of pushed that average up a little bit.
Yeah, and I won't be giving you JT for the I gave him a tournament long. I gave him this round 2. He went out there and he lost more strokes putting than he had the day before. He's now, I think, over 6 strokes lost. That's putting. Crazy. So he's not, spoiler alert, he's not in my picks. I'm definitely going to have him in some Showdown lineups, though, because the rest of his game is so good that it just, and you were definitely right on his ownership. It was crazy. Yeah. It was 33%, at least in the contest I was in.
So turning long 6 of 6s, that's about 3 to 6%. It was kind of brutal. Another thing I was right about, a minus 5 guy moving back. Let's talk about some of those guys who missed the cut. Grillo, he went 3 over in his last 5 holes to miss. Kirk triple bogeyed his penultimate hole of the day.
He wasn't as low as Grillo going into the day, but it was still just a triple and then a bogey.
Shocking. Phil went plus through through his last 3 to miss, including missing that 8-footer uphill putt on his last hole. I forget if it's 8 or 9 or 18. What else do we have?
Patton Kazire tried his hardest to miss the cut.
Patton Kazire did try in the morning. Sam Horsfield missed a 2.5-footer.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw that he had to make par, and I didn't actually see. I saw he made bogey. I didn't see how it went down.
I think it was the last group of the day. I was on the barbecue. I saw he is 26 feet away for birdie. I'm like, perfect. Leg it up there. You're into the weekend. I flipped it on like 20 minutes later, and I couldn't believe it. Other notables. Gim missed a 10-footer. He needed, I think, a birdie to get in. And then Patrick Reed went +1 in his last 4 to miss by 1. Like, it was, I don't think they were all in 18 going in the snake pit, but it was just kind of a brutal day.
And we don't have the split here, but it did seem like the scores were better in the morning than they were in the afternoon, aside from, Burns, who just went out there and absolutely lit up the course in the afternoon.
Bradley walked off with an eagle from 100 yards out.
Yeah. Bradley's round was a little bit unreal.
It was a couple of extremes, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, weather tomorrow, a little gusty in the morning, but other than that, it doesn't look like there's anything too scary.
Yeah, I don't love that because I'm actually targeting quite a bit of morning guys, who I'll talk about in a second here. So I'm gonna hope it changes a little bit.
Yeah, it's also, I don't think there's enough there that's gonna like cause me such concern that I'm staying away from them. You know, it's gusty. They're saying for maybe a couple hours, maybe an hour and a bit. You know, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Yeah. Okay, Craig, should we jump into it?
Yep.
I already see a first mistake, so I'm gonna call on you here in a second. But let's jump into my first pick. I got Jason Kokrak. He is not $7,400.
He is $9,000.
He is $9,000. Thank you very much. He is not 7,400. He is 9,000. He's gone 67, 69. He's 6 under, 1 eagle, 8 birdies, 4 bogeys. How he's doing that? Really good putting, 25th, 2.28. This is cumulative for the first 2 days, so it's about 1 and change per day. Obviously not exactly that, but his approach about the same. Over 2, off the tee, over 2. He's 18th and 6, so his stroke save ball striking is very, very, very good. He loves his course. He plays his course very well. He's gained at least 3 strokes on the field at Copperhead in 5 of his last 9 rounds. That does include 1 of his last 2, but he just he seems to have this confidence here that he just owns this course. So I really like Kokrak. He seems to, he had a lot of momentum coming in. He played in the course really well. A guy that I was pumping the brakes on, but kind of what we talked about on Wednesday night. If he's showing signs in Showdown, I'm going to then go back, and I'm going to Kokrak right now. The one thing I am looking at, what if I kind of like to do it sometimes. What do Bradley and Burns have in common that, they're kind of standing out? It might be cherry picking stats a little bit, but they are both top 30 in par 5 birdie or better percentage. So my first 2 picks are also in the top 30 in par 5 birdie or better percentage. So I think you do have to score on these par 5. So that's something I am looking at a little bit here. He's 20th in par 5 birdie or better percentage, so he can score on those par 5s.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch golf today, but I listened to a bunch on PGA Radio, and Kokrak also had. So we talked yesterday about his lip out on Thursday. He had 2, it sounded like today, that were a putt and a chip that were hanging on the edge. So his score could he could be at 9 under. With a little tiny bit of rub of the green luck. So I think he's playing even better than the numbers look, is what I would say.
Yeah, and a guy I would easily, talking about the leaderboard, that's a guy I think we could see charge for sure.
Yeah, like it. My first one here, I'm going Paul Casey, 2-time defending champ, 9,300. He's gone 68, 71, -3, 8 birdies, 5 bogeys. So what has he done? His ball striking's been good. His short game, especially his putting, has not been so good. And just looking back, if you've forgotten, if you haven't been paying attention, if you need a reminder, so far 2021 calendar year, Paul Casey's just killing it. He's positive strokes gained in 25 of 30 rounds. He's greater than 3 strokes gained in 11 of 30 rounds. And just, looking at how much he's lost with his short game, the last 6 months, he's gaining, almost a full stroke, over 3/4 of a stroke with his short game. The other reason I like him, I think it's maybe a low-key pivot. So we've got him at 93. We've got Sungjae Im, who's at -7 at 95. We've got Joaquin Niemann, who's -6 at 92, and we've got Abe Answer, who's -5 at 91. So I think a lot of those guys, and then right above those guys, there's Connors and DJ who feel pretty good value. So I think Paul Casey may go a little bit overlooked, considering he's he has a good feel for this course. He's coming in good form. He's played good in terms of his ball striking. He just hasn't scored that great. So I think it could kind of line up perfectly that it's a low ownership when it shouldn't be, just based on the people around him.
Yeah, kind of what happened tournament long, where people it's
like, he's going to be really good, so I'll ignore him.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of wish I had a little bit more. But yeah, I think a guy that is super steady with upside.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I look at Paul Casey. Yeah. Okay, my number 2 here, Ryan Palmer, 8,300. He's gone 70, 2 under. Not very exciting. 6 birdies, 4 bogeys. Nothing really to write home about. But $8,300, he is just above.
I was going to say, I almost thought about this one for the same reason.
And he's just above Keegan. I think those guys are going to suck a ton of ownership. I'm going to go Palmer instead. His ball striking has been really good. So again, combining the approach and off the tee, he's doing that really well. 1.6 off the tee, 1.72 on approach. Around the green, he's losing a lot of strokes. He's kind of a neutral around the green, so that should come closer back to 0, I would think, through the course of the tournament. But it is definitely bleeding strokes there, and putting's about 0. So his ball striking is what's keeping him in it. But similar to Kokrak, how is he going to score? Not taking advantage as much as he should. He did a little bit more on Friday, not so much on Thursday, but scoring almost par fives. He ranks 12th in the PGA Tour for the entire year. Par 5 birdie or better percentage at 56%. So I just think the scoring will come. He's going to be very, very low owned, I think, because of his -2 score and because of the two guys he is directly above. So give me some Ryan Palmer.
Yeah.
Ryan Palmer, make a move tomorrow.
I think it's a good price for Ryan Palmer in this field just in general. And then to have him, usually with a good price, people attract a lot of ownership. But because he's right above Burns and Bradley, who are 82 and 81 respectively, I think that it'll keep his ownership a little bit down. And so I like it as a play for sure. Yeah. My next one here, I'm going to one of my classics. Louis Oosthuizen, 8,700. Speaking of just like pure value, I love that price for Oosty. He's gone 73-67. He found his game a little bit today. -2 on the tournament, 6 birdies, 4 bogeys. So he had a really good ball striking day today. He just didn't score well. His short game was really bad, both putting and around the green on Thursday. And then he improved his putting. So he had a good putting day today and a good approach day to really bring up some of his numbers. But I just think that you look at, so first off, he's lost a stroke and a half around the greens. That is not something that Louis Oosthuizen does. He's been positive in 12 straight rounds around the green, and he actually usually gains fairly significantly there. And his putting, so he did have a positive putting day today after a -1 on Thursday, but even still, it's not even touching what he's been doing with his putter over the last 6 months. Obviously, so over the last 6 months, he's averaging 1.28 strokes gained putting. I get that that's not sustainable, but if you look at, like, Louis Oosthuizen is a good putter if you look at over the past 5 years. So yes, I get that that's not sustainable, but I do think he's one of these people who, especially in Showdown, when you're looking at a single round, he can go out there and get so hot with his putter, and he's been doing it recently. So I just really think that there's upside potential there. Does he attract a lot of ownership? That's what I'm not sure of.
I don't think so. I've kind of said it before. I think you're kind of the Louis whisperer here. So if you think Louis is the right play, I might just hop on Louis and kind of tell you, yeah, you're the Louis whisperer. I might just have to tail it because you seem to have a good feel on Louis, and maybe it's just like his Saturday.
The worst is I was kind of feeling it today, and then I didn't play it, so I'm feeling like I've missed out on that 67. But hopefully we got another one tomorrow.
He was my fade for the tournament, but I mean, I kind of felt pretty smart about that day one. He came back and was kind of more classic Louis round 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Craig, my third one here is Keith Mitchell, 7,400. So I don't know what happened to our editor, which is me for this one, but there's a few mistakes I'll walk us through. But he's 70-70. He's 2 under. He has 9 birdies. That's correct. He has 3 bogeys. That is correct. He also has 2 doubles.
I was going to say, that doesn't really work out to -2. But.
And his putting is horrendous right now. It's -2.27. That is 60th. I don't know why I really want to accentuate his 67th. But he is 67th.
It's a busy day. We were trying to get things out here.
It was a busy day. Yeah, we're doing some stuff. Positive around the green, decent on approach, but really, really good off the tee. But basically what I was looking at is really, really bad putting. I mean, one of his double today, just really bad putting. But coming in, he was positive strokes in putting in 12 of his last 16 rounds coming into the tournament. So I like Keith Mitchell. I think it is kind of that classic Showdown where his ball striking is pretty good. His putting will get a little bit better if he can clean up some doubles. I mean, it's good that he's playing the weekend with 2 double bogeys, which is horrendous. If he can kind of escape that, his rounds could be much, much better. Good price. Don't think much ownership. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. Like, he shouldn't be losing 2 strokes putting. So it's just kind of amazing to me that he has done as much as he has elsewhere to still be at -2. But I guess that's 9 birdies. I'm assuming some of his double bogeys and bogeys were involved the putter, which is a little bit out of character. My last one here, I am going with another good putter, Denny McCarthy, 7,200. He went 72 and then a 69 today to just squeak into the cut at -1, 4 birdies, 3 bogeys. You look at what he's done so far this week, it's all around the green. That's where he's gaining.
Yeah.
He's lost a stroke putting, which is very un-Denny-like. But one of the things I like about Denny, and I think he's someone we talk about, I don't know how much we picked him on our Showdown shows, but we talk about him a lot as a Showdown play.
Right.
He's one of these guys that gets hot. Like when he scores, he scores very well. So over this last 18 rounds, 9 of them, half the time, he's gaining over 3 strokes round. So like those are the thing is, like, the ones he's not, he doesn't really score that well. So like he is definitely an upside play where you're playing him for his upsides, not for his safe floor. But you know what? In Showdown GPPs, that's what I'm looking for. The minus stroke so far through 2 rounds, he's averaging 0.84 strokes in putting over the past 3 seasons. So it's just absurd. Like he's not in first on the 2021 season, but he was first the 2 previous seasons at the end of the year. So maybe he's just trying to work his way back up there. But the last thing about Denny, I think that I think typically I would expect someone like Denny at 7,200 to get a lot of ownership. But we've got Charles Schwartzel at -7 is also 72. We've got Hank Lebioda is 72. He's at -7. And then just a few other like Johnny Vegas, Doc Redman. Just there's names around there that Uline is at 71. Like I think there's enough names around there that'll keep too much from piling on to Denny, because he can be one of these guys that can be a bit of a DFS darling. But I don't think that's going to be the case tomorrow. Yeah,
he was actually in our show for yesterday, and then I deleted him as I had him typed in, ready to go, kind of just as his round was closing, but I went elsewhere. I think I went to Hughes instead, because it was absolutely absurd, like where his scoring was coming from. It didn't make sense. He will turn around his putting. He might be the best putter in the game, like you said,
on the
past
planet.
3 on the planet. I mean, like for whatever sample size you want to collect, he has been very good for a very long time, if not the best for a long, long time. So when he's having kind of neutral ball striking, and that's kind of where he is right now, he can light it up with the flat stick. I like McCarthy, and the fact that half his rounds of this past 18 have been over 3, that is GPP. That is GPP money right there.
Yeah.
So I like it.
So that's what we need tomorrow. That's what we need
tomorrow. That's what we need tomorrow. Well, thank you everybody for watching. That is our picks for round 3 at the Valspar Championship. Please hit that thumbs up if you like our content. So subscribe to our channel if this is your first time, or if you have not yet subscribed. That does mean a lot to us. We really appreciate all the support. Craig, anything else to add here?
No, I don't know if we know for sure whether we'll be going live tomorrow or not. It depends on a little bit of construction that's going to be happening in my house here. So we will let you know. If you're in the Discord on Twitter, we'll let you know, and then you can plan accordingly.
Yeah, for sure on Twitter at Grandstand Golf. Follow us there.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Good luck.